combinations with Olinda. We're shooting some content for our workout section of our program, and I want to bring something up that Olinda was doing. So Olinda was working on our combination we call setup. So setup is a combination where you go single jab, and then there's movement, and then there's a double jab, and then there's movement, and then there's double jab and a right. And we call the combination setup. So setup is designed to get you in the groove of using your jab to set everything else up. So the proper way to throw it is to throw the jab and then maybe move the head a little bit or the feet. Then the double jab, move the head a little bit and then the feet, and then the double and a right. So we turn that into a bag workout. That's what we're doing this morning. Want to add one little tip on. We're going to teach it to her right now, and then you can pick it up at the same time. So when you were throwing your jab, Olinda was throwing her jab, she was, the punch would leave and the elbow flared out, right? So when the elbow flares out, the punch is more like this. It's more of a tricep extension. So a sort of a back knuckle-ish kind of when the elbow is flared out. So the way we typically teach the jab is the elbow is down, right? And then the elbow pushes the punch up to a 3/4 extension. Then what we generally teach is you rotate, and as you rotate it over, you rotate the hand, and the inside the shoulder touches the chin on full extension. Right hand, of course, is up, and then you pull it back. So we're going to add something right there on the end. So here's what we do. We're going to take the hand out to 3/4 extension, elbows facing down. Okay, making sure the elbow's down. Now, all of those things that I talked about, the extension, the rotation, and the shoulder touch, that's one move. So it's going to go here. Watch, just extend it out, and then pop, it's one motion. So extend it, pop, it's one motion. So start from the extended position. It's already out there. We're just practicing from here. Go, boom, turn it. Okay, one more time, do that. Boom, turn it. Now, when you do the full punch, what we're going to do, and if you're doing bag workouts, shadow boxing, spar, mitt drills, it applies to everything. The elbow stays down till the last second, and then she makes that full rotation. Boom, good, snap it. Boom, good. Now, that looks good, but she's shifting a little too much weight to the front leg. That's a different kind of jab. We want to keep the weight back on the rear leg so the power hand stays loaded, and practice that jab. Good. 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 Now she's doing a much better job of keeping the elbow down. Let's take it to a pad and see how that looks. So step over on this side for me. So guys, the point here to pick up is that snap. So here's the idea. I know there's lots of ways to throw punches and people want to argue about how to do it. This is sort of our thought. The hand moves first. If the elbow moves first, I see the punch coming. So the hand moves first. The hand moves, the elbow drives it. Okay, the elbow drives the punch up. Now, when you go to rotate, the shoulders and the chest join the tricep in the extension of the punch, and that little pop at the same time is what gives us that sting on the end. What gives it the snap, though, is the recoil of the punch. So if you just stick it out and leave it, there's not much snap there. So it's just as important how fast you get it out and how fast you get it back. So let's see hers. Come on, take this angle right here. All right, so we're going to try that straight jab, make it nice and clean, keep the weight back on the rear leg, and pop it. Straighten it all the way out. Go. Still looks like a little weight coming forward to me. So we're going to, for practice purposes, we're going to over extenuate the weight on the back leg, overcompensate it just a little bit for practice to get a feel. We're going to put a little too much on the rear leg, too much, and then go, good, pop. And this is a 54-year-old grandma throwing these punches, guys. So if she can do it, you can definitely learn. Here we go. Boom. Go. Go. Good. And there's the snap. Now, the reason why we want to focus on that turnover is to create the snap. Now we're going to focus on the recoil. So let's switch places. So what we'll do here is I'm going to let her throw the jab, and I'm going to see how fast I can come back and touch her body to see if she's getting the elbow back. So let's see how the jab looks. So snap it and get that elbow back in place. Good. And go. Good. Elbow back. Good. That looks pretty good. Now the weight's back on the rear leg. She can release the right hand. So now let's go jab right. Boom. Good. Boom. Good. Good. And go. Now you can go back to the bag nice and light. So guys, that's sort of what we wanted to work on today. Hey, thanks for that, man. First comment, you don't look 54. I'll take that as a compliment. That's my wife. We have 3 grandkids and 1 on the way. So yeah, I've been coaching boxing for about 35 plus years. I've had 42 fights myself. We've had about 100, our record's like 118 and 8, something like that. It's pretty good. We've had a couple pros that we've trained. I was a student of Joe Lewis for 25 years privately. And David Dice, my partner on the channel, was also. And basically what we're trying to do here is bring something else to boxing coaching. And what that is a better way to explain things, guys. So there are some cool coaches out there. There's lots of guys that can fight. I mean, they're definitely known fighters. But when you hear them teach, it doesn't make sense. Like, they'll be a great fighter, like somebody that really knows some of the best in the world. But when they show a punch, they just do it, and then they say, it goes like this. That's not instruction. Like, you can't learn anything from that. And then one of my favorites is Boss Rutan. But the issue here is he is a monster. I mean, the dude I love his movies and his fights. I mean, he's awesome. But he's built like a tank. So some of the things that he does, I don't think the average guy can get away with taking some of that punishment that they may take based on their genetics, how they're built, the size of their neck, their shoulders. You know, he's definitely good, but we look at things a little differently. If I'm a smaller guy, I'm a beginner, what are the best mechanics to learn first? Then, once you get those mechanics down, you get a little bit of experience fighting, then you can look at other stuff and go, oh, I kind of like what Boss is doing there. I'm going to make an adjustment to my own style. Then you try it out and see if it works, right? So I fought at 184 pounds. I fought up to the biggest guy I fought was like 325. The biggest athlete I fought was 270, and he was 6'7" in the tough man and bad man contest. And I did have to fight some big guys, so I couldn't get away with, I'm bigger and stronger than you. That wasn't going to be a good strategy. That would have gotten me literally killed. So, yeah, I think, hey, what's up, Samuel? Good to see you, man. If you really watch videos, you'll see instead of teaching you, what they do is they show it wrong, and then they go, no, don't do it like that. But they don't even speak. They just do this, and then they show you right, maybe sometimes, but they don't explain, this is how you get into that position. This is how your body goes. This is how you go through that. So let's let Olinda, she worked on the setup. Let's see what it would look like in case you guys want to steal a little bag workout from us. You can copy this. Oh yeah, man, Verzi, yeah, you, Mike Tyson, great example. Dude is awesome, okay, for sure. But he has the perfect blend of the right things to make that work. Actually, more than that, but he has the build, right? He has the genetics. He came up in a tough culture, and he had a ridiculous coach. And in the beginning, the fundamentals that they built were just incredible. Like, you watch the videos, the over and over and over and over of doing the same thing, but not everybody can make peekaboo work. So we feel like learn an orthodox stance first, bladed 3-point stance, get that down. Then once you're good at it, start watching guys like Tyson and say, you know, what I did is steal Tyson's, just that entry. Like, that's called a broken rhythm entry that Joe Lewis taught. And even from the orthodox stance, we would just steal it. So think like this for you guys, and we'll get to the bag workout. There's more than one stance, right? There's more than one style. Yeah, for sure. So they go Philly shell, you know, you're orthodox like ours. You have a Thai style stance. You know, martial arts guys get sideways. Olympic style, they sort of open up a little more sometimes. Soviet style, they're all a little different. So what we try to do is borrow God's laws, physics, and we try in mechanics and think of what is the best fundamental style that we could make work against every other style. And then we'll steal everything they have and incorporate it where it works. But you can't do that if you don't have the basics of your style down first. So people have to understand it. You can easily say, Canelo has entered the chat. He does so-and-so. You're not Canelo. I'm not Canelo. You don't have his genetics, his work ethic. You haven't been training as long as him. You didn't learn his fundamentals. You don't have his mental makeup. You didn't have his culture. You don't have his coach. You're not Canelo. Canelo had to learn basics, and then he developed his style later. So that's nonsense to make these types of comments, and we get them all the time. You know, build your basics, have some fundamentals, and then do what you do and figure out what works yourself. Let's see. I want to learn basics. Yeah, good. Let me see what else I got going on here if you have any questions. Okay, you got one guy who apparently doesn't like this style of training. So, okay, good, man. Scroll on. Go find somebody else to watch. Good luck to you. God bless you. Okay, so here's what we have. Canelo's feint always. Canelo is good. He's good, man. Love it. We love it. All right, so let's look at a little bit of a combination here with Olinda. So this is one of the combinations out of our series. We are offering this for free. David Dice and I are. It should be a link in some of our videos. If you want it, just comment. And I'll try to add it in later on. We have a series of combos. There's 30 of them. And instead of having to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 2, 4, we have them in sequences so you can train them. This one is called setup. And setup is a single jab, move a little bit, then a double jab, then a double and a right. Boom, there we go. So we start building it slow. So here's what it looks like. She fires a good jab, bang, fire, you cover, and then you move a little. Okay, now change your position. Okay, then a double jab, boom, fire, cover, move your head a little, change your position. Then the next one is a double jab and a cross, cover, move, change your position. And you train that combo for 3 minutes. We call it setup. Single jab, boom, double jab, boom, boom, double and a right. Now, with her, the weight is still shifting forward, and she's still got we feel like a little too much on the front leg. And hey, look, here's the thing. Everybody is always making adjustments. This is why the pros have coaches. They see and they're looking for little things that people do that might not be optimal. Even your heroes, all of my heroes, the best guys that there are. My favorite, Roy Jones Jr., favorite of all time. Even them, they make mistakes and their coach has to say, hey, keep your hand up, get your elbow in, put your weight here, move your feet like this. They get reminders, and that's what we do. She already looks good, but what we're doing is trying to clean it up. And in this situation, we're keeping the weight back because we're setting up that right hand at the end. So let's go single jab, boom, and double and a right. Boom, good. And that would be a good, strong 3-minute round that you guys can practice on your own. So see if we have any questions. Yeah, that's some good stuff. Hey, thanks, Jonathan. Appreciate that, man. I feel like heavier people weight transfer is hard. You're 170 and 6'3". Oh, okay. Hey, look, let's work on that. You guys want to do that? You want to take a minute? Work on some stuff? You promise to get up and do it? We'll do it right now. So let's work on your weight shift, Jonathan. Let's just help you out. So, Linda, you can do it toward the bag nice and slow, and I'll do it here. So let's break it down. So let's get in a good stance. Hopefully you've got whatever stance you're on. We like this 3-point bladed stance. Here's what happens on the shift. We're going to dig into the ground. So feel the pressure in the ground. It's called ground reaction force. We drive up from the ground into the punch. So feel it there. Then you're going to pivot that heel out. I don't have my boxing shoes on today, so I'm not pivoting as well, but pivot that out, rotate the knee. As you rotate the knee, the hip turns, okay? So from the ground, drive, heel, knee, hip, naturally shift to the front leg, okay? So she's gonna pivot, torque the knee, rotate the hip. Now, right now, the hips are lined up. So they were left hip in front, right hip in the back. When she rotates for 1 split second, they're gonna line up. As this hip passes this one, you extend and rotate the punch, which is the same as a jab. It's just done on the end of a power rotation. Go.
So I'm doing a jab?
No, just do a cross. Boom, good. Go again. Boom, there's the weight shift. Now, if you're having trouble with that, switch your stance. So now you're getting an opposite stance. and then you practice the right jab. You practice that motion that we worked on at the beginning of this video, and then you switch back and you're doing that same motion, but you're doing it on the end of your hip extension and weight shift. So you shift all the way through, boom, and then you release it. There you go. And this is why I keep my dirty clothes up off the floor, because if I don't, that's my wife, I get punched like that. So we try. All right, so you rotate all the way through, extend. Bam! Now, on the end of the punch, guys, you should feel the weight hit the front leg. It's loaded. So you can either recoil, or you follow through with your next punch, or you move, or you turn, and you can spin out from there, okay? That should help you, Jonathan. Let me know if that, oh, my man, there we go. There you go. There you go. So if that feels better, that's awesome. That's the whole reason why we do the channel, man. Help people. You know, it kind of cracks me up. It's one of the comments. He's probably upset because his comment didn't post, because acting like an idiot. But you should always be open to learn. That's what we do. We constantly are trying to learn, regardless of our training experience, 40 plus years, and train with the best that I think has ever walked the planet. And I'm still learning, man. Like, I want to pick up new stuff all the time and figure out better ways to do it. And David Dice, my partner here, he's incredible. Like, he's exceptionally good at breaking things down, and I learn from him. And I put together combinations pretty well, and he learns a little bit from me. So that's the way it ought to be, and that's the way we encourage you guys. I'll be 59 tomorrow, and I'm still learning and training like I did when I was 20. If I would have had me when I was 20, man, the difference would have been just unbelievable, because I'd have had somebody to give me a blueprint. I didn't meet Joe Louis till I was 28. I was already fighting, and everything completely changed the second I was given a blueprint and had a coach that could teach me this kind of stuff. It completely changed the second I learned how to do things. So you guys be open-minded, and dumb little comments like this guy made, don't even want to pay attention. Okay, here we go. What else, man? What else you need to know? You've been watching us for a while. Hey, man, you're welcome. Thanks for saying that. I appreciate you watching, Jason. Where are you from? Jason, let me know where you're from. Just curious. All right, man. I appreciate it. He said we don't look our age. That's what we want to know. Yeah, fighting does keep us young, I think. You know, one thing that it does, I want to read this last one. There was a fighter named, cool. I'll look at that. Just Dude, I will answer that in a second. Yeah, these are some good questions, man. I like it. All right, so let me back up. Let me see what I got. Olinda, if you don't want to stay out here with us anymore, you can be done. So hopefully Olinda helped you guys out with that combo. Let's see. So I want to take the most lethal kick. All right, so I started boxing, and then I learned kickboxing from Joe Louis. I had already started some Taekwondo, so I knew how to kick. I just didn't know how to put my hands and my feet together. When you say the most lethal kick, it's going to depend on so many things, and this is important to understand. Genetics, like if you're super tight in the hips and you can't get your hips up, you're going to have to stretch and develop some mobility before you can ever kick at all. So it doesn't matter. If I had to pick, it's probably still the cut kick. You know, a properly thrown cut kick is just freaking devastating. But there's also, you know, the stomp. The stomp front kick is a good one. Joe Louis and I worked on Bruce Lee's side kick a lot, and I really love the side kick, but it took a lot of work to develop the timing down. So just so you guys know, we have a couple different things. We have a program called Fighters College, and you can go to fighterscollege.com. Go look at it, fighterscollege.com. Just go check out the page. In there, we teach all the punches, all the kicks, all the footwork, all the drills, all the combination, all the partner work is all put into a curriculum. And when you finish it, free of charge is a certification for each level. So you're automatically certified. You don't pay extra for it. You get interaction with us directly. You send us videos. We watch you train, and we correct what we can for you. And you can apply that at home. You can do it in your gym, use it on the guys that you train with, whatever. So that's there. It's fighterscollege.com, and you can learn exactly all the kicks. For me, I like the power kick. I like the power cut kick. I like the side kick. And I really do like the stomp. If I had to choose, it's going to be that cut kick behind a jab. So a good, strong boxing jab upstairs and a good power kick downstairs is the kickboxing equivalent to a 1-2. But instead of 1-2, it's 1-2. And it's a low kick. I think it's devastating. You from the jungle. All right. Well, whatever you're fighting out there, Brandon, hopefully you're surviving, man. Looks like you are. You're in Okinawa. Sweet. We're on the coast of North Carolina in Wilmington. Jason from California. That's cool. Awesome. Yeah. So these are the things, feel free to comment. When this is live, I think when we're done, the comments go away and I lose them. So I can't follow back up. But what you can do is comment on a different video or comment on this after it airs, and then I'll see it. To answer your question, we have two things. One is completely free, our combination series, what we were teaching at the beginning of this. I don't have the link. It's on, there's a video we just posted. It's one of the live videos I did earlier this week. There's a link in there. It's to our Glove Up program. That's completely free. Fighters College is right now, it's $24 a month. So it's very cheap. It will eventually be much more, but everybody that gets in now, it's not fully done. So we started everybody at a lower rate. So if you're interested, love to have you. Also, if you want to support the channel here during the live and super chat, that'd be cool. All right, so let's see this. Here we go, a question so I can get to work. How to beat a bigger opponent. All right, so I fought some bigger guys, right? And you do have to make adjustments if they're much bigger. Probably the most important thing is how you get in close. So that's what Tyson was so good at, because he's short, was using that peekaboo style to get his head in close. This is something you have to have an open mind to understand what I'm about to say. The hardest thing to do in all forms of stand-up fighting, striking, is to cover the distance between you and the other person. So I've got to get close enough, right? The hardest thing to do is to cover the distance without missing what I threw or getting hit back. So that means if I could get close enough to you and make contact and clear without getting hit, I win. Well, that's easier said than done. So the way you start that is by learning how are you going to make the entry? How are you going to close the distance between the two of us? Most popular for the smaller guys, a double or triple jab with really fast footwork. So if you close this distance, and again, I'll be 59 tomorrow, right? But once you develop the speed of making that entry and you've got this 1, 2, footwork is the same, not the flashy stuff that you see on YouTube, but just your basics. 1, 2, okay? And then you train that until you can do it fast and bring your body up. There's an entry. There's one. Another one could be maybe a Tyson style. Step up, rip, and you step in and let the head move as you step. Now you're inside, okay? So that would be the main thing I would do. And then learn to work on your infighting combinations. So we call it double hook. Double hook is short shot to the liver, overhand, straight right. There's a lot of them, but that's a good one. All right, so Genovici, man, that comment's not welcome here. You talk too much, show something? Dude, scroll on. You don't want to learn? You can go wherever you want, man. It's free. YouTube's free. Hopefully that helps you. Hopefully that helps you get inside. Let's see. How do you close range on a shorter fighter? Okay, so now you're the taller guy, and he's the one doing it. All right, man, I love these. Man, I picked a good time in the morning to go live for you guys, didn't I? So how do you close range on a shorter fighter? All right, so no, you basically, with a shorter fighter, you're constantly wanting to measure him with the jab. And I wouldn't force close range on a shorter fighter. I would keep him at bay and catch him on the end of shots as much as possible. I never lost a fight to a guy shorter than me. I won every fight when a guy was shorter than me because I was used to everybody being so much bigger. It's being able to tag on the end of that snapping jab and find your next punches. Now, they close the gap, and you do have to fight on the inside for sure. And the littler guys will tend to hold. But I do feel like the taller guy inside is at a slight disadvantage. Their power source is lower. They can drive short shots, and you kind of got to fumble with the shorter guy being in close to your body. I wouldn't force closing the distance. I would keep them at bay, catch them on the way in, but still learn to fight inside because it's going to happen. I like that question. What do you have to do at the end of your punches to add power? Okay, so your power on your punch is torque, rotation, weight shift. If you know this, you can figure this stuff out. It's torque, rotation, and weight shift. Torque, rotation, weight shift. And then on the end, it's retracting the punch at the same speed that you threw it. So if it's a right hand, it's pivot. We went over this earlier in the video. You'll be able to go back and watch it all the way through. It's pivot, torque, rotate, and then you got to pull it back at the same speed that you threw it out. So your chest, shoulders, and triceps extend the arm, and then your back, your lats, and your biceps recoil it. So if you get torque, rotation, weight shift down, you get the arm in the right position, and you snap that. Makes a huge difference. In and out using angles, absolutely. No problem with that. The face breaks with one of your punches. El Guapo, the handsome. That's good, man. So you should be the world champion for sure if every one of your punches breaks a face. Love it. So you're 6-10 in MMA. You lost 7 in a row. You went through, yeah, dude. Coaches are tough. We've seen quite a few that will definitely take advantage of a fighter. So when a guy is spamming the jab feints, would you keep resetting angles because you don't know what to yeah, I'm going to give you something for that. El Guapo, once again, you must be a beast. When a guy's spamming the jab feints, would you keep resetting angles? All right, I'm going to answer that. Brandon, it's not bad advice, man. The way you shoulders and hip, weight distribution, snap your punches back. Okay, it's not too bad at all. All right, so let's work on that. So here's what Joe Louis told me one time. All right, so let's say the guy is feinting with that jab. So automatically what goes in your mind is, all right, so what do I do? I'm going to make sure I don't overreach. I'm going to try not to fall for it. I'm going to keep my head in motion so he doesn't catch me on that second one. So you're in a defensive mindset. So whenever you spar, you're not there to test your defense. You're there to test your offense. So if you are thinking like that, so he is feinting, popping, and you're like trying to think through what to do. So I'm a parry, I'm a slip, I'm going to try to stay out of range. I'm going to try not. How about you just start popping your jab in his face like lightning and make him deal with that instead? Now what are you doing? Are you testing your defense or are you testing your offense? You're absolutely testing your offense. Now, it's not that it isn't real that you have to deal with it, but your first line is, instead of me thinking, oh man, I got to deal with his face, let's see if he can deal with my jab. And then you start lighting single, double, triple, and you throw that jab with enough power where whoever that is has to start worrying about you and you're not worrying about him. That's first. Second, learn if you're in the right posture, you should be able to check that jab feint. And the instant counter jab is probably the best way to back that stuff off. So you either got to create space, you got to create an angle, or you've got to create an opening. So when a jab feint comes, I may just touch it and instantly counter jab. So every time he feints me, he pays the price. He has to deal with a jab. That's a mental strategy. It doesn't mean that every single time I get in front of somebody that can work on every single person. Guys, that's not reality. But to have a correct mindset of as soon as I can pick that off and respond, That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to change my thought process on that. Okay. Here we go. Do you believe in hand fighting to break their offense weapons? I don't know what that means. So if you could explain it a little better so I can understand it. And some wrist strengthening exercises can help you with that. Okay. Hi, Brandon. You're 50. Man, by your comments, I was thinking you were a lot younger. Cool. All right. So for your wrist, guys, if you've seen our video by Joe Lewis, I'm going to break this down for you right now. That's our most viral video. Okay. And I get all kinds of crazy comments off this. Most people are like, unbelievable. And the rest are like, BS, it never works, because they didn't listen. Okay. Always listen. Always listen. Figure it out for yourself. Don't make stupid comments on other people's videos. Just listen and learn. And if you don't learn, move on. Okay. Here's how you start strengthening the wrist, doing push-ups on your wrist. Simple. Wrist curls, wrist flex, forearm, but you also get your wrist. Squeezy ball. Squeeze it 10 times. Do it between each finger. Get a hand gripper. I've got a Captain Crush gripper that I use, and just do hand grip. All that stuff works great. But to position your wrist, some people punch like this. The thumb is laying across the index finger. Okay. Joe Lewis, he made a video a long time ago. I aired it. It's had millions of views. Here's what we did. All right. All he did was, I'm just going to simplify it. He locked the thumb against the inside of the index finger. So instead of touching the middle finger, traditional fist, still okay. You want to do it, do it. Okay. But until you try this, don't say anything. Okay. Here, all we did was slide it back a little bit. Now look, is that really exposing my thumb? That's the most, you're going to break your thumb. Guys, come on. Look at that. It's that much of a motion. The inside of the thumb presses against the index finger, and it's going to lock everything together. When you do that, different muscles are firing the way everything's lined up, and it makes a stronger wrist. So you can literally do it on yourself. Touch your middle finger, grab your wrist, and try to bend it. Then slide it over to the index finger. Use the inside of your thumb to press into the index finger, lock those together, and feel your wrist. Now, before you say, I'm going to break my thumb, I didn't do this. I didn't do this. They didn't watch the video. It's just that. That's all it is. The thumb is not exposed anymore on the fist at all. Even Joe Lewis talks in the video, you don't do that because if you throw a body shot, good way to break your thumb. That is not what we did. So if you want to strengthen your wrist to punch, it's simple. You just slide it over just off the middle finger. Use the inside of the thumb to lock the index finger in. A lot of Okinawan styles, karate, Japanese, they've been doing this stuff for hundreds of years. It's not brand new. It's just a wrist position. If you like it, do it. And if you don't. Don't waste your time making comments about it. Go punch something and get better. All right, so let's see what else we got. Trying to catch up on my phone right here. A fighter's trying to set up a hook. What's your first thought? Is it to jab? So the jab is literally, that is not only a setup, but it's a deterrent. If you got a good jab, you can get away with a lot. So you either jab or move. You jab or move, all right? So there's only two reasons you move. So if you're watching these videos and these guys are doing all these crazy footwork drills, please stop doing that. Get really good at just stepping first and get real fast at it, and then the rest is going to come. So when you move for two reasons. One is to set you up, and one is to relocate so that you can't set me up. So I move to avoid, and I move to set up. That's it. There's no other reason to move in boxing or fighting of any kind. I either move closer to you to try to land, or I move away from you to try to clear. That's it. Okay. So if you're a certain punch, snap your jab and move. Keep your hand up, make them eat the jab continuously. Stay in motion, okay? Because if you start thinking like this is maybe more than what you guys might want to know. If you start trying to, the term is to identify. So if you're watching somebody and you're trying to choose, is it a hook that they're throwing? Is it a jab? Is it a kick? Is it then your brain is trying to identify what they're going to do in advance. So you're caught up thinking instead of just relaxing and being in a calm state and just watch. You just watch, and then you give them a jab and you give them a double jab and you keep them on their toes. You keep them backing up. It's hard for people to set stuff up if you do that. Joe taught me that there's a couple of things you want to do. One, you want to get off first. So you're the first one to throw a punch and you back up. The second one is to keep people moving backwards. So if much as you can, if you can get somebody moving backwards. Nobody wins being forced backwards. Now, there are people who can move backwards and fight. They're good at it, like they can step, but they are moving themselves. They're not being driven backwards. If you're being driven backwards, you're not going to fight very well. So the three things: get off first, force the guy to go backward, and then the last one, don't let him set. And what that means is you don't let him get in a position where he can hurt you. So if you right now, if we're facing each other and we're in range and you're ready, and I take a half step back, you are no longer set. You're too far away from me. So you have to take a step to me to hurt me. Well, when you do, I'm going to angle off to this side. Well, now you're facing the wrong direction. You have to turn to me. That's what we mean when we say don't let them set. Don't be dumb and stand in front of somebody to prove how tough you are. So you get off first. Get off first. That's number one. Get off first. The first thing, get that punch off. Back the guy up. Get him moving backwards. Don't let him set. Okay. All right, good. Slip back, inches, 10 minutes. Don't have a problem with that advice at all. Do you think you can switch from the Philly shell? Yeah, if you're only boxing, man, you can get away with some stuff, Zeno. We do that. Like it goes sometimes up and then down, and maybe there's some little crab defense, one hand up, one hand down. But when you add kickboxing, things are different. So the boxers, look, I started boxing. My first punch, box. I learned to box, started that. Then I learned to kick. Then I learned to put them together, okay? I'm telling you, if you're a boxer and you've never been kicked in the leg by somebody that knows what they're doing, don't think you can beat them. It's devastating, right? So we have to be aware of these things because forbid, if you're a boxer and you have to defend yourself, what do you know? Boxing. So it's great. You can throw punches, you have fast reflexes, etc. But if you ran into somebody that knows how to kick, you got to at least be cognizant of it, right? So the shell just exposes that leg for the kicker or the grappler to take you down. And if you're a boxer that thinks you can't be taken down, you're in a delusion because you can. If a grappler wants you down bad enough, you're going down. The difference is, can you make him hesitate? Can you hurt him on the way in? And do you know how to defend a takedown? We spent a lot of time defending takedowns just to make sure. Let's go. Keep asking, guys. I'll stay out and train you guys for a little while. I got time this morning. For my birthday, what am I doing? Spending it with you guys. Okay, so could you negate a power puncher by parrying rather than evading? Not sure I fully understand what you're saying, but let's say that you have a devastating right hand, okay? What do I do? If you've got a devastating right hand, what do? I can try to stay out of range. I can try to keep my left hand up. I can maybe try to slip it. Lots of different things I can try to do. How about this? To negate the power puncher, how about I just start popping a jab in his face? What's he going to do with his right hand now? Block. So now instead of throwing his power punch, he's busy blocking my jab. You're testing your offense, not your defense. Okay. Brandon, agreed? Again? How often am I going live? Just depends, man. We're trying to get to where we're just making content full time. We just passed 116,000 subscribers not too long ago, and we're just on a mission to teach it better. It's not that we're the best fighters that have ever lived. Obviously, we're not. But we can be some of the best coaches. We can learn from the best. We can learn how to break things down. And we've put together a pretty cool little system that we think will benefit. And who we're talking to is us when we were younger. So that's who you are. You're us before we knew what we know. And we're trying to share it with you so you can learn it faster and have an advantage. Those who are open-minded will learn and they will get better. Those closed-minded that think they already know everything will not benefit at all. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what we got. Should tell everyone during drills and shadowboxing to punch up, not straight ahead. I don't agree with that one, Brandon. Actually, we punch both, obviously, but one of the best punches is square in the chest. So you hit somebody square in the chest, boom, and then your next jab is chin level. That couple inch difference is huge. Boom, boom, and the next one's high, or one low and then low high. But going up is still good, but I would practice all of those. And primarily it would be right in front of your chin to get your alignment. And then you start making stabbing jab to the body or up jab like that. Still not terrible. I'm glad your stand-up's okay. But at 2-0, you hadn't fought super experienced yet. So just keep an open mind, man. Glad you're here. Thanks for the advice. I didn't know this channel, but you're giving. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that, Zeno. That's what we're known for. That's what we want to do. All right, so black hoodie. You're welcome. If you're sparring a big guy and don't want to use head movement as much, which guard are you using? All right, so lots of discussion on the guard. Why do boxers keep having their defensive guards up? Anytime it's a defensive feint or so. Okay, let me see if I can figure out how to answer that in a second too. All right, so here's the guard that we like. We break this down in great detail and include the workouts for how to learn it as well in the Fighters College program. It's, again, please go at least check it out. Would love to have your feedback on the page and what it looks like. It's fighterscollege.com. Then we have another thing where, hey, look, if you got a pencil or you're going to get out your phone, I'm going to give you my cell phone number right now. So any of you guys can text me if you want the link to that to the course we've got for combinations. Is free. No catch. Here's what's in it for us. It's going to put you in a community of free where you can read our stuff and be alerted when our videos come out. And then in a couple weeks, we're going to do a live coaching challenge where we're actually working with everybody by video individually, a small group of them, and you're going to get an invitation to that. That's paid. Okay. You don't have to do it, but that's the only thing in it for us is we're going to get to advertise that to you when the time comes. Right now, there's nothing. It's just free. So the number's 336-682-5541. If you text that number right now, it's going to pop up on my screen. So, all right, so our guard. That's what we're talking about. So the guard. Bladed stance. David Dice believes he's my partner on the channel. You definitely got to watch some of his stuff because he's so good. But he believes a piece of tape and a mirror is the best coaching tools you could possibly have. I don't know if you can see this line on my mats here. There's a line down the mats. In a bladed stance, my left toe is going to go just to the left of the line. My right heel is just to the right of the line. That creates just a little bit of space. Both feet are angled off. I know Boss Rutan says, stand like this. I'm not Boss Rutan, not built like him. I don't have a neck like a cinder block, and I'm not like an utter beast because he definitely is. This is what we feel like is the most economical for the real average guy. And then you learn this, and then you make adjustments based on your genetics, your size, your style, etc. Okay? Because the main thing is I don't want to stand square. The reason, again, they will say, well, I'm just going to take the kick, or I'm going to block, or I'm just going to absorb it or eat it. I'm not willing to do that. I want to deny you access to the middle line. It's not that big of a difference. But now here's the other thing. It's also not this either. Like you go all the way to the side. How are you going to get out to block a kick? I mean, they make a point there. With this stance, it takes literally a split second to move my toe if I was going to block a kick, but digress. So we're in this stance, bladed. Fit your feet the way you want. This is what we recommend. For the hand position, this is what we recommend. It's a 3-point stance. Put your rear hand up. The rear elbow touches the body. That's 1. The rear hand touches the chin. That's 2. The front elbow is tucked into the body. That's 3. You have a deliberate front hand. 3-point stance. 1, 2, 3. So when you're doing your movements, you first learn to do everything without abandoning the 3-point stance. 1, 2, 3. When you punch, boom, and you make contact, now you have 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inside of the shoulder protects. It makes you get that full extension. We worked on it at the beginning of the video. Okay? Bang. 4 points. 3, 4. Master that. Now what you do, don't believe me? Go back and watch every knockout you can find. Every knockout. And find me one where all 3 points are engaged and somebody gets knocked out. Every time they get knocked out, right hand is down, left hand is down, both hands are down, one hand is out, body shot, elbows off the body, no points of contact, nothing touching. That's when the knockouts occur. So we try to develop a good, it's not perfect, like you're not going to block every single thing, but you need a blueprint, to something to go off of. Like, where do your freaking hands even go? They go up and in and they touch. And now we have a way to practice, if that makes sense to you. All right. Hopefully that helps. Do you believe we should keep our back foot bouncy? I don't. Should we keep our back foot up and only stand, not using the heel? So for me, there's an ever so slight heel raise. Cool question. Ever so slight heel raise, because the ball of that foot is what's going to drive. So remember at the beginning of the video, we said it's ground reaction force. So you're driving your energy up from the ground and you're going to push it off the ball of that foot. Okay. So there's going to be ever so slight on the heel. And when I'm moving, my heel isn't really touching the ground. It's free on the ball of the foot to rotate and turn, etc. Okay. VZ, I haven't seen the blueprint for them. I just watched the coaching, and I'm sure if you're right in front of them and they're there to make the adjustments, it's awesome. But online, it's exceptionally difficult to follow for the average guy. So for me, and I mean, I haven't seen that they have an actual blueprint. I'm sure. I mean, Mayweather's one of the best that's ever lived. But you have to understand something, guys. If you don't know what this word is, this is something you need to know, because you waste a lot of your life trying to compare and learn from people who are completely what we call outliers. An outlier is somebody who is just genetically, it's like they were born to do this. They have the right genetics. They're in the right, they had the right coach. They grew up in the right culture. They had the right combination of everything together, and they're able to do it. But that doesn't mean they're able to teach somebody else. Now, they have a successful camp. So I'm not saying that about Mayweather, because they have a good camp. But I also know people who've been there. And it's definitely not for everybody. It's almost like a camp for outliers. So, but they're good, man. Obviously, they're good. But can they teach you? That's what I'm interested in. Can they help you? And then once you get really good, then maybe so. But your fundamentals are so important in the beginning. That's why. So my favorite, all right, these good questions. My favorite knockout combo. I actually had one of my fights. I knocked a guy out with this, and it's my favorite shot. We call it straight right. And it's a jab high setup, and then you step out with that foot and drop so that the straight right hand is right in front of your shoulder. And it is that hit lands, then you stand up into the hook. So it's a jab, boom, and the body shot, and then right after the body shot, it's a headshot. So I knocked him down twice with the same combo, and he got up, and the third time, I hit him so hard with the body shot, I missed the hook because he was on the canvas, and the fight was over. That's probably my favorite, because it's just a lot of power. It's very deceptive. It's high with the jab, straight right to the body, left hook to the head. I know that's simple, but You said my favorite. I like it. From the Philippines. Cool, man. Larry, what's up? All right, one more. A couple more. I was wondering, you said power punches push your offense. Maybe your jab can interrupt their offense. So thankful. Oh, you're welcome, man. The basics. Yep, you got to say it. Okay, man. You'll see again. All right, so look at the feet, though. So here's the thing. All right, so if you're watching this, sit your phone on something so that you can do what I'm doing. Okay, sit your phone down. Put your guard up. Okay. Now, if your left guard is in front of your chin, and I throw a straight right hand at you, your guard is going to hit my glove. I mean, my glove is going to hit your guard. Your hand's in my way. So if I throw a straight right hand and your guard is up, it's deflected automatically just based on our position. There's no opening there. The opening is in the middle, right? But if I throw my arm straight, it's going to hit your guard. See it? That's a straight right. And there's a couple different versions of a right hand. That's a straight one. It goes straight in front of your shoulder. What I'm doing on this drill is I'm stepping out. So now that hand is moved between your guard. If that makes sense, it's going between your guard. So to set it up, if I throw it like this, it's going to be kind of easy to block. But if I take a little half step to the inside, now it goes down the middle. So the combination, we go one jab up the middle, one jab up the middle, and then we throw a jab and take a little baby step to the outside. And we're going to drop and punch same time, right to the body, and it's going right between the gloves because you angled yourself out. And then you're loaded, torque, rotation, boom, and then the hook is up high. That's how we do it. So a jab high, straight right to the body, left hook to the head. I like it. So many good combos out there. Now that combo course that we have is free. So you guys want it. I gave you my number earlier. Shoot me a text. I'll give you the link. Thoughts on blocking with your elbow? Oh, Verzi, good job. All right. So nothing beats the elbow. Elbow to fist. Elbow. This is David Dice's spiel. I'm going to steal it. Elbow to fist, elbow wins. Elbow to shin, elbow wins. Elbow to foot, elbow wins. Elbow wins. So it's dirty, man. So if you're in competition, people do it. It's dirty. But it's freaking effective. I went through a phase, to be honest. I went through a phase where I just wanted to see if I could hurt people's feet and hands. And I started blocking like that. And it was, man, it's brutal. It's not nice. But we know it works. And we call it limb destruction. Like, can we, hurt your limbs bad enough to make you not want to punch and kick? Yes, you can. Just don't do that. Put on elbow pads and practice it easy so you don't hurt anybody. So we made a video, David, we just made a video with our fighter Brooklyn on the gazelle hook. This one is a hook coming from the ground. I'm planted and standing up into the hook. So the only difference is I'm in a crouching position. This is an upright slip. This is a crouching slip. So I crouch down, load that front leg. So I'm driving the hook right off there. I'm not stepping with it. Let's see that a little more. Okay, so here's a good thing. I'm right at Tyson's age, okay? But David Dice, my partner on the channel, actually was in the camp with Custom Auto quite a bit. So on a lot of the videos on the channel, and he does lives with me, so make sure you guys got your subscribe, your notifications on so you see it. We do lives together, and a lot of our stuff came from the camp. Like we learned a lot. So he trained directly with Custom Auto in those camps, literally directly. Now, Joe Lewis, who trained me, was invited by Custom Auto to fight Ali. But at the time, he had won every kickboxing record or title there was to win in his division, and he was acting. So he turned it down. Could have been a good fight to see what would have happened if the world's best kickboxer met the world's best boxer. But we didn't get to see it. But yeah, I didn't get to meet Custom Auto. What's funny is titles. When AI puts titles on a video, when I say Custom Auto, it says Custom Auto, like custom automobile shop. and people make comments about it. Like I did that myself on purpose. All right. All right. So this might be the last one. Great audience, you guys. Thanks for staying on. Make sure you check us out, fighterscollege.com. There's also a little membership here on the channel. If you go to the main page, super cheap to access some exclusive content. The more support we get, the more of this stuff we can do. You have super chat. We're going to keep making videos. But the difference is when you're doing one of the courses, it's laid out for you, detailed step by step in order, so you can progress a lot faster. The counters. All right, so first you have to understand what it is, and then you have to understand that whatever it is, it's all going to be based on your how many reps you put in to train it, right? So my expertise is in drills. I can pretty much create a drill to train pretty much anything once I know what it is. So even if somebody better than me teaches me something, I can immediately take it and put it into a format to drill it. So whatever the counter is, it's got to be drilled. So when you say a counter, that could be against a jab, it could be a right hand, a left hook, whatever. There's a lot of different things. The most simple counter is what we call parry jab. So somebody throws a jab, you learn to pick it off lightly. Don't overreach, don't reach out, just a direct. So you pick it off and then you instantly counter with your jab. So a jab counter is the fastest, easiest to learn. Jab counter. The way you practice it, you get your buddy, get up in front of you, easy. I throw a jab, you block it. You throw a jab, I block it. We get that down. Okay, then we practice. I throw a jab, you block it and immediately counter with your jab. I have to be ready because boom, boom, it's coming back at me. And we take turns, and that's how you build it. Once you get that down, then we can build a right hand. You block the right and counter with the right hand. Lots of different ways to do that. Hopefully that helps. All right, you're keeping them coming, so I'm going to keep going. Right as a straight. All right, so if you can time the jab defensively, it's dangerous, right? Somebody steps in range, bang, you make them eat the jab. It's just a dangerous move. You always advocate for that. So you can catch on the way in, catch you defensively, got to throw that jab, man. The more you learn it, the better. We call it an educated jab. Educate that left hand. Right as they step in, boom. Now, the timing of the counter is called point of pressure. The instant that you would have hit me had I allowed you to, that's when I check and counter at the same time. So that might answer your question. How many times should you feint? All right, so the feint is only valuable if you've given the guy something to be worried about. So if I snap a jab and it pops you, or you have to, then I fake the jab, you will probably respond to it. If you don't do anything after that, it's going to be like the boy who cried wolf, and eventually I'm just going to swing at you, and then you're going to be back on your heels because you're not hitting me with anything. So you establish it, little feint, and then you got to be ready to give them something. The most common, up, down. Feint up, go down. Feint down, go up. Feint out, go down the middle. Feint down the middle, go outside. And that's how you develop it. So you need to land one, make me respect it, then make sure you execute your fake. And guys, make sure you like the video and make sure you subscribe to the channel. We've been out here for an hour. Went by pretty fast, but look, when you want to learn, I'm going to do my best to try to help. So is David. That's what we're here for. That's why we started the channel. So subscribe, comment. I gave you my phone number a little bit earlier in the video, so you could just literally text me. I think I probably have a bunch of waiting already. I can send you that link. And we're at fighterscollege.com, or in the description part of the video. You can learn a lot. So my man's getting ready to go to the boxing gym. Yeah, do it. Just take your time, man. Make sure you start. You start, just like feel the wrist power when you make that contact, and just practice it. It's going to take a minute for you to fit. It's a little different. It's a little different. Like it's not the exact same as what you're used to. That's not a bad thing. You just figure it out. So now when I make a fist, I automatically pull it to that position. It's not a huge adjustment, but I do think it's stronger. Hey, Black Hoodie, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, the channel is 100,000 subscribers last month. We hit it. It's 116, I think, now. And we're not able to do this as often. We're trying to get there. So the more subscribers, the more people we get coming on Fighters College, that stuff, we'll be doing more and more and more of these. Great to have you guys, man. Zeno, hey, you're welcome. Love having you guys. Till next time, hands up, chin down. Thank God every day that you got the strength to do one more round. All right? See you guys. Have a good one.